The online shopping scene in Russia is huge, and I thought it's well worth doing a video about. So basically how it works is just from the comfort of your own home, you buy whatever you want, and then you just pick it up at a little shop or post box near your home. You see a van there that's just arrived, and the driver's unloading all the goodies that's in there. Not surprisingly, given the fact that it's basically a license to print money, there's quite a few companies doing it. The two biggest companies, Ozon and Wildberries, or Wildberries as they call it here in Russia. I mean, they're making profits of over $500 million a year. What's a very common practice if someone to go to the shop to, try on the coat or the shoes, see if they like it, that sort of thing, and then if they want to buy it, instead of buying it in the shop, they've just tried it on and just go home and order the same thing online because they know they'll find it for half the price. But really, that's not even necessary, because if you buy some clothes or shoes or something online, when they arrive, each little office has got its own little changing room, so you can try it on, and if it doesn't fit, you can just leave it there. That's absolutely fine. There's no obligation to buy. Now, unlike shops that need to be on the main street to get the passing trade, these little offices or shops, whatever you call them, they turn up anywhere, and you can find them in your local housing estate, and even, most of the time, in your own block. So this is a very common sight these days, just finding one in the bottom of a block, just there. I mean, they're not even advertising, they don't have to, because you know where they are, because when you buy it online, it tells you where your nearest one is. So that one was just there, and then at the end of the same block you've got another one. I mean, there must be thousands of these handing out points, as they're called, just in St. Petersburg alone. And I mean, they're in every city, town in Russia, and also they seem to be appearing in little villages as well. As well as in residential properties and on the high street, they can also be found in little shopping centres as well, as you can see a couple here. There doesn't always need to be a shop to pick it up at. You can find these little post boxes everywhere as well for the smaller items, where they just get left in there and you pick them up. I guess renting a space in a supermarket works out a lot cheaper than renting an office space or a shop space. I remember in Britain when the sort of cafe culture started, when all the Starbucks and Costa Coffees opened, and they replaced all really interesting little record shops and video shops, things like that. I guess it's the same here. Because now everyone's in the habit of doing the online shopping, they're basically getting everything online. Even it's common just towards, like a bag of coffee or something, because in your local supermarket it costs like 400 rubles, and you find the same one online for 200 rubles. So you just click, get it, and then it comes the next day. Really, it's a win-win situation for everyone, which I think that's why it's become so big, because for the customer, they're getting far more choice and better prices. And for the shops themselves, it's great as well, because before they could only sell to people living in their catchment area who walked into their shops. Now, all of a sudden, they've got 150 million potential customers. And finally, the in-betweeners, i.e. these shops, the Ozons, the Wildberries, all the others, I mean, my goodness, they're charging a commission of 4 to 24%. One of the most amazing things about the online shopping in Russia is that you can order anything from anywhere in Russia, and you never ever pay for delivery. And of course, Russia is the world's largest country. So to prove the point now, I'm going to order something from Vladivostok, which is 6,500 kilometers away, and it will be delivered to St. Petersburg for free. I found some nice little bookmarks with images of Vladivostok. They're only 222 rubles, which is practically nothing. There's no minimum spend, so I'll order these. You might think, seeing as how they're on every block, they wouldn't actually need to advertise, but they still do. You can see here on the adverts, they're saying where each thing's from. That sofa's from Novgorodskaya Oblast. Chukotka, flipping heck. And just to be on the safe side, they've got a stationary one on the other side as well. And on the same street, further along, it's a case of deja vu, isn't it, basically? Let's see if it's the same on the back. Yep, there you go. You've got to be careful though of all their marketing nonsense. On their sites, they all say, like, each product is like 80-90% discount, which is clearly rubbish. They're saying something that used to be 2,000 rubles is now 500. But that's completely rubbish. It was never 2,000 rubles in the first place. But it's marketing, it's basically lying. But in Russia, there doesn't seem to be any laws against lying or false advertising or any of that. Or if there is, then it's not strictly applied in any way. Also, the crafty devils, because they know that everyone expects their prices to be lower, sometimes they make their price higher than what you can find in a shop, and they think that people will still buy it anyway, which perhaps many people do because they just automatically assume it will be cheaper. I mean, yesterday I saw one of them advertising a Bueno Kinder bar for like 99 rubles, and they had that it used to be 120 rubles. But that's complete nonsense, because I get forced to buy them for my wife on quite a regular basis, and I never pay more in the supermarket than 80 or 90 rubles. So basically, on top of their commission, they're then making an extra 9 rubles. So today my daughter and I are doing something we do quite a lot, and that's waiting for Mummy, who's inside one of them picking something up. Тебе не скучно? In fairness, it never takes more than 1 minute really to pick something up. Although that's because my wife always picks stuff up off peak. Actually, if you go peak time, there can sometimes be a bit of a queue. But they're open late. They're open till about 9 or 10 p.m. My wife's happy to just pick something up now. So you see the little Ozon office in that block there. Now the block opposite didn't have their Ozon office, so the poor little people had to walk for 20 seconds to go to the one across there. So they addressed that situation by opening one here as well. And what's interesting is you see the two biggest companies there, they are always together, because when one opens one, the other has to follow suit. Actually, that's ridiculous. In addition to the two there, quite opposite each other, I've just noticed you've got another one there as well. To be honest, I think the situation is getting a little bit out of hand. But hey, Russia has really embraced capitalism. I mean, these companies, they just never give up in their quest to make more and more profit. I mean, just because they made $500 million profit last year, this year they'll try anything they can do to make it 501 million or more. And they're branching out into other areas as well, not surprisingly. So you see, what's particularly interesting about these two companies in here, Ozon and Yandex Market, is it's actually in a closed off section. So basically, they're getting so much custom just from the people living in the big block. That's all they need. I mean, don't get me wrong, other people can go in there as well with permission, but it's a gated community. But look, to be honest, there's so many consumers just in this block. So I've just gone to my local supermarket here, and you see some imported Japanese coffee here, which costs about 1,000 rubles. Online you can find for 851 rubles, so not a huge difference, but still. But they've also got other ones on there saying that it was originally 20,000 rubles, and now it's like got a 91% discount. I mean, come on, that's just ridiculous. So I just got a notification that my bookmarks from Vladivostok have now arrived, so just going to pick them up. So, they've arrived. They look quite nice actually. Useful as well, of course. So the two leading companies alone, not including the other ones that are growing as well at quite a rate, I mean, they've got about 130,000 of these little shops across the country. Another advantage of them is that they're employing a huge amount of people. I mean, obviously each shop needs staff, and they've got these huge warehouses as well, gigantic warehouses you see on the outskirts of the cities, and you've got the delivery drivers as well, again thousands of them. So really, in addition to everything else, they've created hundreds of thousands of jobs.